Sarah, let me ask you a question. You're a marketer.
Sure.
Why is my new bank spamming my fiance every day asking him to set up direct deposit? You know he's a freelance editor, he works in the gig economy, and direct deposit is not applicable to his financial needs right now.
Yeah, that is definitely annoying. But trust me when I say that is way more than just an annoyance for your bank. That kind of tone-deaf marketing is a silent killer of relationship value. At Curinos, we estimate that the typical regional bank is leaving $70 to $80 per customer on the table because of poorly orchestrated, sub-optimized marketing. That translates to about $70 million over the course of 3 to 5 years for a typical regional bank. For a super regional, that's $250 million or more over the same time period.
I mean, Sarah, those are huge numbers. You can't ignore that. So why is this problem in particular so hard to solve?
Well, it's certainly not for a lack of trying. We're all spending a lot of time and money trying to drive to greater levels of personalization. The real thing that's getting in the way is the marketing rails of personalization. What do I mean by that? I mean they're built on rules. Trigger rules, targeting rules, journey rules, orchestration rules. They gum up the works. They are time and labor intensive to set up, and in effect, you hit a point of diminishing returns well before the point of true personalization.
And Sarah, that's exactly why we built Amplero. Amplero is an adaptive omni-channel orchestration engine powered by AI to help unleash you and reach that vision of personalization, breaking you free of traditional rules paradigms.
So let's take a look under the hood, shall we? This is a picture of the Amplero AI-driven decisioning that's happening. For this particular customer, they have 3 programs running on Amplero: an onboarding program, a deepening program, and a deposit building program. There are close to 900 experiences that are available to the AI to optimize against. And what you're seeing here is decisioning that gets smarter with every day. So where you see new colors coming on, that's where the AI has discovered a new microsegment that is particularly responsive in a productive way to one of the close to 900 experiences. Where you see colors going off, that means the platform has learned, hey, what was working yesterday isn't necessarily working as well today, so something else needs to shift in.
I mean, Sarah, this is an incredible level of visibility, but it's also a little intimidating. How, as a marketer, could I feasibly build something like this?
Well, so let's take a look at the configuration front end. We call this the experimental spine, and it is designed to be very flexible. It is basically about making it possible for a non-technical marketer to set up a very complex set of orchestrations in a matter of minutes or hours rather than months and potentially years. So checking onboarding, we all know this is a really important window in the relationship of a customer. And there are possibly hundreds of unique triggers you could be keying off of. There are lots of topics that you could be talking to any one customer about. This enables me to have some basic journey logic, like I want to make sure everybody gets a checking welcome, that if they haven't funded, they get a nudge to do so. Maybe the same thing for a debit card activation. But after that, there are literally dozens of things that we could be engaging any one customer on. Rather than setting up if-then logic for the kind of orchestration of that, we simply set up sanity constraints. So we define the eligibility at a customer level of who is able to receive this particular topic. And the AI takes it from there, kind of orchestrating across. And because we've tailored this specifically to financial services, we have out of the box hundreds of financial service specific customer contexts.
Got it. So instead of having to build individual rules and triggers the way I usually do today, I can actually use this library of sanity constraints to basically flow my customers through this type of program.
Exactly. And there are other simple sanity constraints to set up, like the rate limits or frequency capping, blackout dates, and the like.
And beyond just optimizing across topic and sequence, like Sarah said, the platform takes it a step further and is actually optimizing the content of the creative itself. This includes layers like value proposition, image, the tone the content is wrapped in, offers, incentives. The dynamic template underlying these previews that you're seeing is actually building from these components and automatically creating the experiences for the customers so your team doesn't have to. We've seen that our clients, in the traditional amount of time it usually took them to stand up 8 individual whole cloth experiences, were able to generate, using Amplero, over 400 distinct experiences in the same amount of time with the same team. That's not just a 50x increase in efficiency for your team, that's new hypotheses that you can test out in the wild with your customers.
For example, we might have a hypothesis about how a micro-survey might lift your fiance out of that doom loop that he's in. It takes seconds to propagate in this dynamic template, and then the AI in the platform is orchestrating and optimizing from there.
But Sarah, we keep saying optimizing over and over. What do we actually mean by that in the context of the platform?
So unlike traditional marketing platforms, the Amplero platform is, because of its closed loop AI, is able to optimize on downstream business metrics. So in this checking onboarding example, every single treatment delivered to every single customer is being optimized on the basis of which that treatment productively moves a customer forward on the path to primacy, in this case defined as a trailing 7-day onboarding score. And again, because we've tuned it for financial services, there are a library of those available.
Exactly. And in these different segments, you can see we have some segments of customers that are responding very productively to the content that we have in the platform and bringing new to bank balances. There's others where that's not true, and that's where we want to focus our time. But Sarah, we've gone through a lot. What does this all sum to?
So the net impact of this is really eye-popping. We are seeing that this kind of adaptive orchestration is driving 2 to 3 times the amount of incremental revenue per customer, that trailing 6-month retention rates are 5 percentage points or more higher, and that translates to real returns.
Come by our booth to learn more. Thank you so much.